Good morning, students. Welcome back. This is Jyoti Biradar, your English facilitator. In the previous class, Vijayalakshmi ma'am has taken the bird migration. Already, she has explained the lesson in detail. I thought everybody is, and I hope you understand the lesson. If you not understand, don't worry. We'll explain you once again in the Zoom meeting. If you have any doubts in that, the lesson. Which lesson? The bird migration. Already she had given the explanation for you. In that, if you get any doubts, please let us know and we'll conduct in the Zoom meeting. And she had covered the full lesson explanations. And next, just I'll give the brief, short information about the bird migration. Then I'll go to the notes. Okay. Then before going to start the lesson, I want to discuss. I want to give our information about the classworks and homeworks. Homework from homework number 1 to till date. How many homeworks we have given you? All subject. Already we have sent the PDF in your particular class group. According to that, you have to complete your classwork. Then whatever the teacher is going to send the messages to you, please respond for that. Then you can check out what message you got from your class teacher. Then only you will come to know the informations about the classworks, homeworks, and regarding classes also. Then second thing, even the classworks also we have sent the PDF yesterday. How many lessons we have completed till date? How many lessons we have completed till date? Up to that lessons, we have to complete all classworks, and on Monday you should come with your classwork homework for correction. With a neatly can write and come for the corrections. Understood? If you have any doubts in that, directly you can call to your class teacher. It's a request to you, please keep checking the messages from the group. Understood? Then, what is mean by migration? You learned this lesson, just I'll give the short information about it. Next, we'll go to the next topic. Migration means what the lesson will refers. The lesson refers migration itself. Migration means we have to go one place to another place. As like an history of mankind. Same thing like a birds also. Why the birds are migrating? Whether the bird will migrate? Yes. As like a human being. Human beings also move from their birthplace to the other places for the job work. No? When we get the birthplace means where you give the birth means birthplace to other place they are giving for their jobs, for studies, some other business. No, they want to earn the money. Otherwise, some of the they are for their graduations, for their studies, everything. They will move from one place to one place to another place like a birds. Even the birds also move from one place to another place because some of the purpose is there. Purposely they are going. Purposely they are going as like mankind. And they also visit the different places, moving from one place to another place. Some purpose is migrating. Why the human being will move from one place to another place? I said you like. Then for the job and for the business, for the studies, they will move from one place to the another place as they're convenient. Okay. Then, like human beings, move from one native to one land and other lands in search of food, shelter when the climate is not suitable for them and survive in their native lands. Even the birds also migrating. Why they are migrating? Because of searching food or their shelter or their climate. If the climate is not suitable for them, they will migrate one place to another. Some other reason are there. So purposely they will going to one place to another place. Okay. Then the lesson is about the bird migrations. The migration is bird is also as an old history of mankind and in search of food, survival and the breeding of reason and for the migrating. Are not only the weather conditions, are not only the weather condition. Why the bird migrate? Because of weather conditions? Not only. Not only the reason of the weather condition. But the bird migrate breeding the seasons and the birds can be and understand the migrating field surrounded the earth. Seasonal. Seasonally they will move from one place to the another place. Sometimes the bird want if it is the cold climate, they are not suitable for it. They will go to the warm places. No, according to their seasonal, they will move because they want to give their birth. They want to give the birth to their baby. They want a warm place. So, if the climate is not suitable for them, immediately they will change their places. They will migrate from one place to the another place. Okay. The magnetic field either from north to south places, and perhaps the birds got the directly themselves by the lines of the force, and the life of migratory birds are described in the lesson. What the lesson is indicate us? The lesson is indicate that the bird is migrating according to their seasonals and length of the earth. According to their life, they will settle, they will adjust. Maybe they fall for the climatic condition, maybe for their food, maybe for their shelter. Many purposes are there to migrate for the birds, same like at mankind. This is the summary of this lesson. I hope you understand this. Next, we'll go to the new topic, uh, impacts of cell tower on birds. Okay, what is impacts of cell towers on birds? Is there effective? We are using the cell phones and the towers are there. No, because of network we are using the towers. So it's these kinds of technology. It's effective to the birds. Yes, it's a very disadvantageous. But by the technology we are getting a many advantages. But we have to think about the nature also, isn't it? Because of our selfishness, we are spoiling our nature. We have to, by the time we have to balance both. We have to use the technology for some purpose and we have to take care of our nature also. Understood? So it's a very effective. Then the cell phones technology has survived and advantages and disadvantages grown rapidly. Cell phones are, it is in that advantages also is there and disadvantages also is there. What is the advantages? Nowadays, because of the COVID, we are using the cell phone to see the online classes, to communicate with the teacher. It's a gadget we are using like a gadget to communicate you, to through the WhatsApp, a cell phone, and other things, computers, everything we are using. It's an advantage. What is the disadvantages? It's affected to the nature. The mobiles, towers are harmful rays. These rays are affected to the natures. Okay, trees, birds, environment, everything it is affected to the. This is the disadvantages of the technology. It is grown rapidly. We are not thinking about the nature. No, we are thinking about our facilities. We want to use or make our work easily by using the technology. Then, by while using the technology, just you can think about the nature also. Understood? Then, in the last decade of India, there are the nearly 80 crores and cell phone subscribers and around the 4.5 lakhs cell towers are there. It's a huge. So, and number of cell phones is number of cell phone was increasing by day without considering the disadvantages. Every day it's increasing. We are purchasing the new phones. They're launching new phones. We are purchasing new phones. It is very like a day by day it is increasing. We are not thinking about the what is the disadvantages of using the cell phones and tablets. No? Then do cell towers affected to the birds? Whether the cell towers affected to the birds? We are talking about the birds. The lesson is refers to the bird migration. Nowadays we are getting decreasing the populations of bird. Why? What is the reason of it? Because of cell towers, because of technology. So we are decreasing the population of birds. Understood? Do cell towers affected to the birds? It's a question. Yes. By research of Ruiz Martinez in the Spain concluded that as the radiations of cell phones towers increases, the bird population is decreasing. As the human population decreases, the bird population will be increased. So the number of cell phone towers and with the 4G technology might certainly impact the lives of the life of the birds of the human being. Because of the human beings, the bird get affected by using the technology. No, it will affect. The cell towers affected to the birds? Yes, it's affected to the birds. Then what is the effects of radiations on birds? The radiations of cell phone towers, what is the effect? Which kind of effect the birds will get? Understood. The electromagnetic radiations from cell tower affected to the bird's environment. It's affected to the birds and even environment also, isn't it? The birds are exposed to weak electromagnetic field and fly all the directions which harm their natures and navigations of abilities. And they have moving everywhere in all directions. They are moving. The rays will affect it to the birds. Understood? Then have you ever seen any birds near cell towers? Have you seen? Maybe not, because have more the volume of and the less weight. More the birds have a more volume and less weight. So heating affected is very fast. Also interferes with navigations and reproductions. Then dairy cows decreases milk productions. While the dairy cows is decreasing the milk productions and development problems and the decline in the overall health. Why? Because of the cells and towers. Because of the affecting the harmful radiations. The radiations is going to spoil our nature and even to the animals, birds. Then sheep, goat, cats, rabbits living near the base stations also get affected. They are living near the stations. It's also get affected. So while using the cell phones, we have to think about the disadvantages also. If you want to increase the technology investment more, then you have to think about the disadvantages of the cell phones, and you have to take care of those things. By the balance, we have to go. We have to use. It's a necessary to use the technology, but we have to take care of our nature also, isn't it? Next, then one of the person you heard, his name is Salim Ali. Who is the Salim Ali? Who is the Salim Ali? He is a birdman of India. He was the birdman of India. Salim Ali is a greatest Orientalist and a naturalist of all times. He is also known as the Birdman of India. Who knows Birdman of India? Birdman of Birdman of India. Whom you call the Birdman of India? Salim Ali. He got a title then Pakshi Premi Salim Ali. I think you heard about it and you learned about that. And he is a birdman of India. He'll take care of our nature. He got many awards on it, and he has spent a lot of money on it. So he worked on it. Then he is all the time he known as the birdman of India. Then he was one of the very first scientists carried out the systematic bird survival in India and abroad. He research work on considered highly influenced in the development of Orientalist. He has worked. He was researched on it. Understood? And Salim Ali is not only the research about the bird. He not only the research about the bird, but also he contributed to the protections of nature also. He contributed the protections of nature also. And for his extraordinary efforts, and he was giving an international awards. He got an international awards and INR 5 lakhs, but he donated all the money to Bombay Natural History Society. He he spent his money. He donated the money to the to the Bombay Natural History Society. He was donated for that, and the government of India honored him with an Padma Vibhushana. Padma Bhushana. Padma Bhushana in 1958. Okay, and he honored him Padma Vibhushana in 1958 and Padma Vibhushana in 1956. 76. Vibhushana in 1970. He awarded from India. Then he is a birdman of India. Whatever the things if you want to do, he will take care of our nature also. Then same thinking mentality we have to develop in ourselves, and we have to take care of our nature. The bird migration is give information about the bird migrate for their survival, food, shelter, and even like a fan kind of history. Same like the bird also. So it is a short information of Solomon. And now I am going to give you the notes of the bird migration and start from the glossary. Just you can see the what I am writing on the board, and you have to repeat the words once again. When we will send the PDF, then only you have to write in your classwork. Understood? May not it be you are not able to see the mobile phones continuously. Just you can listen the classes. When the teacher will send the PDF, you can write it down in your classwork. First, we will start from the glossary. Then, first page. Glossary. Lowland. What is the meaning of lowland? Lowland is nothing but flat land. While writing, you should pronounce the spelling of the word. You have to pronounce the spelling of the word. Second one, Highland. Highland is a mountain area. Mountainous area. When you are going to write the words, first letter, if you will write start with the capital letter, then continuously you have to start with the capital only. If you want to start with the small, then same thing. Similarly, you have to start with the small letter only. Okay, understood? Don't mismatch it. Third one, marvelous is nothing but astonishing. Then fourth one, feat means achievement. Achievement. Fifth one, phenomenon is fact. Phenomenon is nothing but fact. Sixth one, debauch Depart. Depart is nothing but leaving. Leaving. Leaving is nothing but depart. Then seventh one, expansion. Is unusual or not included. Not included. Write down this glossary. Next we'll get the question answers. Question answers, I'll write the questions and I'll write the answers, I'll explain it. Just you can listen it. No need to write. Okay, only the glossary part you have to write in the classroom. Total 8 glossaries are there. One more is there. Next, NEST, S means stays. Stays or halts. Means if you are staying somewhere. The second bit, that is answer the following question. Answer the following questions in a sentences or two each or not two. Then what is the first question here? Question number 1. What does migration mean? What does migration mean? What is the meaning of migration? I said you before only, the migration is nothing but move from one place to another place purposely, means for their food, maybe for their climatic condition, for the shelter, these things, animal. Then like mankind. The answer is migration means moving from one place to another place for some purpose. No need to write. Just you can listen. Then what is the meaning? What is migration means? What is the meaning of migration? The migration is nothing but the moving from one place to another place for some purpose. Understood? It's the purpose of moving from one place to another place because of the climatic condition will be there, because of search food, because of their shelter. Like same like in mankind, I said you the by birthplace to they are going to the other place to work, to studies. Understood? Same thing like in the bird language. The next question, Question number 2. Is migration of bird seasonal? What is the question here? Is the migration of birds is seasonal? Yes, the migration of bird is seasonal. Yes, because of some climatic conditions, the climatic condition sometimes is not suitable for the bird. So they will migrate from one place to the another place. Means they will move from one place to the another place. The answer is yes. What is the answer? Answer is yes. Yes, the migration of bird is seasonal. Got my point? Next, question number 3. Do birds migrate only in search of food? Only in search of food. What is the question here? Listen carefully. Do birds migrate only in search of food? Why they migrate? For their search of food only? It's a question. Okay. Then no, the bird not migrate only search of food, but also for shelter and suitable climate also. Not only for the food. They will not migrate for only the food. No, they will migrate sometimes for the food, for the shelter, for the climatic conditions also. You got the answer? Listen carefully. The question is, do the birds migrate only for the food? They were asking the bird will migrate only for the food? No. No, they will migrate for the migration of the bird for the food maybe, and shelter, and even the climate also, for the climatic conditions also. Understood? Then question number 4. Question number 4. How do birds identify seasonal changes? What is the question here? How do birds identify the seasonal changes? But because I said you that sometimes they will migrate because of the climatic condition. The question will raise how the birds will come to know it's that seasonal changes. How the birds identify? How the birds will identify that this climatic condition is not good for us, so we have to move from other place. How can they identify it? Now it's a question. The birds identify the seasonal changes by knowing the length of the day. How they can identify? The knowing of length of the, by knowing the length of the day. Length of the day, they will come to know it's a seasonal changes. They come to know that they want to move from, if the seasonal is not suitable, they will move from one place to the another place. Understood? How they will come to know? By knowing the length of the day. By knowing the length of the day. Next, the question number 5. Why do birds migrate? Question number 5. Why do birds migrate? Why do the birds migrate? Everybody knows that because of the bird migrates in search of food, shelter, and for the suitable condition. First, also you got that same thing. Only for search food they will go? No, they will not go for only the search of food. They will go for the food, shelter, and the climatic condition also. Understood? Easily you can answer these questions. Very easy questions are there. In why do the birds migrate? because it's seasonal changes. Because of seasonal changes also you can write, because of food you can write, because of shelter, because of climatic condition is nothing but seasonal changes. Understood? Next, question number 6. Question number 6. Is migration a necessity? Is migration a necessity? Is it necessary to migrate? Is it necessary to migrate from one place to another place? The question is migration is necessity? Very easy. Yes. Yes, the migration is necessity for the bird. Why? You know, everybody knows, because of same thing like in food, shelter and seasonal changes. Yes, it's a necessary to migrate from one place to the another place. Very easy answers, students. The next 7th question. No need to write, I'll send the PDF so that I am explaining only the questions. The question number 7. State 1. Theory which helps us understand how birds find their way home. What is the question? State one theory which helps us understand. One kind of a theory how to tell us. State that we can understand how birds find their way home. How the birds can find their way homes. So there is a belief of birds. Then can understand the magnetic field that surround the earth. These magnetic fields run from north to south poles. The magnetic field runs from north pole to south pole. It's a history. It's a theory of state, the theory which helps us to understand. It is the theory to understand how the birds find their way to home. By knowing this magnetic field. Magnetic field runs from the north to south pole. They can find their way of homes. Understood? The next, 8th one. Give an example to show that birds do not migrate at the same time. What is the question here? Give one example. Any one example we have to give to show that birds do not migrate the same time. Yes, birds do not actually begin their migration the same day every year. Do not actually begin their migration the same day every year. For example, of the famous swallows of California are supposed to be leave on 23rd October and return on the March of 19th, but their dates of departure and the return have been to be verifying from a year to year. How do you come to know about that? The birds do not shows that do not migrate the same times. It's the example. What is the example of it? That is the swallows of California are and supposed to be on leave on the 23rd October and return to the 19th March, but their dates of departure and the return have been verified from the year to year. They are verifying their years and moving and return back. By the time we'll know that it's an example for the migrating the bird same time. Do not migrating the same time. Got it? Next, question number 9. How are the Aztec turns the champion among migrating birds? Migrating birds. See, the question is, how are the Aztec terns the champions among the migrating birds? Then these travels an average of 22,000 meals a year. During its flight, nest different places, take about the 20 weeks to make a trip. A trip down to be an Antarctic region and average speed is 100 meals a week. How can Antarctic turns the champions among migrating birds? It's a these are the turns of different places. Take the how many? Takes about the 20 weeks. It will take the 20 weeks to make a trip. To make a trip and down to the Antarctic region to average speeds of 100 miles a week. It is the difference. Then total number of questions 10 are there. In the answer the following question, 12 are there. Now the 10th question, describe the movement of bird during their migration. Describe the movement. Describe the movement of birds. Movement of bird during their migration. During their migration. What is the question here? Describe the movement. Which movement we have to describe of birds during their migration, which they are moving from one place to another place. That movement you have to describe. What movement was there? The bird moved from lowland to highland. Okay, from interior to the seaports. Birds migrate to warmer place to the winter and return to their country in spring. How many types of they will move and which kind of climate they have to be suitable for, they are making the suitable for them itself, means in the during that movement it is in seaports and bird migrate to be the warmer place and to the winter and to return to their country in the spring. They will come back to their own country in the spring. Understood? This is the movement of the bird during the migration. Got my point? Then what is the characteristics of features and American golden pollers and the relations to migration? It is a question number 11. What is question? Question number 11. What is the character trait and feature of American golden wolvers in relation to migration. In relation to migration. What they highlighted here? American golden wolvers. Their relations to be a migration. The American golden plovers is and the during their migrations, it makes the long non-stop flight, and it can be fly distance of about 2,400 miles over water without food and or stopping. It's the relations between to the migration of American golden plovers. They will move non-stop flight, and it can be fly distance of 2,400 miles without on over the water without the food or without stopping. It is the relations in the migration. Understood? Then last question, name the birds mentioned in the lesson. How many birds are mentioned in the lesson? One is an Atricton, second one is the American golden plovers, and third one is the famous swallows of California. There are the three birds. Okay, which are that? Atricton, American golden plovers, and swallows of California. These three birds are mentioned in the lesson 4, that is bird migration. There are how many questions are there? There are 11. Already I have explained you the 11 questions. Next we'll go to the choose the appropriate answers. It's a grammar part. In the bird migration, the grammar is adjective. I'm going to explain about you that remaining objective bits and even the grammar part, that is adjective. Then tomorrow I'll continue the lessons. Thank you, students. Have a good day.